Bemidbar, or Numbers 23 through 25. And Bil'am said to Balaq, "Build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here." And Balaq did as Bil'am had spoken, and Balaq and Bil'am offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Bil'am then said to Balaq, "Stand by your ascending offering and let me go on. It might be that Yahovah does come to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I shall declare to you." And he went to a bare height. And Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 slaughter places, and I have offered on each slaughter place a bull and a ram." And Yahovah put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, "Return to Balaq, and this is what you say." And he returned to him and saw him standing by his ascending offering, he and all the heads of Moab. And he took up his proverb and said, "Balaq, the sovereign of Moab, has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Yaakov for me, and come rage at Yisra'el." How do I curse whom El has not cursed? And how do I rage at whom Yahovah has not raged? From the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I observe him. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who shall count the dust of Yaakov, and the number of 1/4 of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright. Let my end be like this. And Balaq said to Bil'am, "What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you've kept on blessing." And he answered and said, "Should I not take heed to speak what Yahovah has put in my mouth?" And Balaq said to him, "Please come with me to another place from where you see them. You only see the extremity, but not all of them. Curse them for me from there." And he took him to the field of Tsophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 slaughter places, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. And he said to Balaq, "Stand here by your ascending offering while I meet over there." And Yahovah came to Bil'am and put a word in his mouth and said, "Go back to Balaq and say this." So he went to him and saw him standing by his ascending offering, and the heads of Moab with him. And Balaq asked him, "What did Yahovah say?" And he took up his proverb and said, "Rise up, Balaq, and hear. Listen to me, son of Tsippor. El is not a man to lie, nor a son of man to repent. Has he said, and would he not do it, or spoken, and would not confirm it? See, I've received to bless, and he has blessed, and I do not reverse it. He has not looked upon wickedness in Yaakov, nor has he seen trouble in Yisra'el. Yahovah his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a sovereign is in him. El, who brought them out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Yaakov, nor is there any divination against Yisra'el. Now it is said to Yaakov and to Yisra'el, what has El done? Look, a people rises like a lioness and lifts itself up like a lion. It does not lie down until it devours the prey and drinks the blood of the slain." And Balaq said to Bil'am, "Do not curse them at all, nor bless them at all." And Bil'am answered and said to Balaq, "Have I not spoken to you, saying, all that Yahovah speaks I do?" And Balaq said to Bil'am, Please come. Let me take you to another place. It might be right in the eyes of Elohim that you curse them for me from there." And Balak took Bil'am to the top of Peor that overlooks the wasteland. And Bil'am said to Balak, "Build 7 slaughter places for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here." And Balak did as Bil'am had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each slaughter place. Chapter 24. And when Bil'am saw that it pleased Yahovah to bless Yisra'el, he did not go as at other times to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Bil'am lifted up his eyes and saw Yisra'el encamped according to their tribes. And the spirit of Elohim came upon him, and he took up his proverb and said, "The saying of Bil'am, son of Beor, the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes opened wide. How good are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwellings, O Yisra'el, like wadis that stretch out, like gardens by a river, like aloes planted by Yahovah, like cedars beside waters. He makes water flow from his buckets, and his seed is in many waters. His sovereign is higher than Agag, and his reign is exalted. El, who brought him out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. He devours nations, his enemies, and he breaks their bones, and with his arrows he smites. He bowed down, he lay down like a lion, and like a lion, who would rouse him? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you. And then the displeasure of Balaq burned against Bil'am, and he struck his hands together. Balaq then said to Bil'am, "I summoned you to curse my enemies, and see, you keep on blessing these 3 times. And now flee to your place. I said I would greatly esteem you, and see, Yahovah has kept you back from esteem." And Bil'am said to Balaq, "Did I not also speak to your messengers whom you sent to me, saying, if Balaq should give me his house filled with silver and gold, I'm unable to go beyond the word of Yahovah, to do either good or evil of my own heart? What Yahovah speaks, that I speak. And now see, I'm going to my people. Come, let me advise you what this people is going to do to your people in the latter days." And he took up his proverb and said, "The saying of Bil'am, son of Beor, the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes opened wide. I see him, but not now. I observe him, but not near. A star shall come out of Yaakov, and a scepter shall rise out of Yisra'el, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession, enemies. And Yisra'el is doing mightily. And out of Yaakov one shall rule and destroy all remnants from Ar." He then looked on Amalek, and took up his proverb and said, "Amalek was first among the nations, but his latter end is to perish forever." He then looked on the Canaanites, and took up his proverb and said, "Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock, but Canaan is to be burned Till when does Asher keep you captive? And he took up his proverb and said, Oh, who does live when El does this? And ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Asher and afflict Eber, and so shall he also perish. And Bil'am arose and left and returned to his place, and Balaq also went his way. Chapter 25. And Yisr'el dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to whore there with the daughters of Moab, and they invited the people to the slaughterings of their mighty ones, and the people ate and bowed down to their mighty ones. Thus Yisr'el was joined to Baal Peor, with the displeasure of Yahovah burned against Yisr'el. And Yahovah said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people and hang them up before Yahovah, before the sun, so that the burning displeasure of Yahovah turns away from Yisr'el. And Moshe said to the judges of Israel, Each one of you kill his men who were joined to Baal Peor. And see, one of the children of Israel came and brought to his brothers a Midianite woman before the eyes of Moshe, before the eyes of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tent of appointment. And when Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a spear in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. Thus the plague among the children of Israel came to a stop. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in the midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say, See, I'm giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after a covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was ardent for his Elohim and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the man of Israel who was struck with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Shimonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was struck was Cosbi, the daughter of Tzor. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And Yahovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall strike them, for they distressed you with their tricks, which they deceived you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was struck in the day of the plague because of Peor.